I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak with Weather 2020. Hold on for this big weather ride we're beginning. Try not to make too many conclusions for another 2, 3, 4 weeks. In these next 2, 3, 4 weeks, we're going to see a lot of this weather pattern. You're in on a secret, everybody, and let me take you on the beginning of this journey through the year ahead. Thank you so much for being premium customers. And let's take a look. All right, so let's start by taking a look at right here from the beginning. All right, take a look here. The birth of the 2025-2026 LRC on this October 7th, backed by 75 to 80 years of research. The weather wheel is spinning. Where is the ball about to drop right now? That is the big question. Is it going to drop in the drought category for where you live? Is it going to be cold and snowy, cold and dry and drought, warm and dry, rainy and cool, many storms and flooding, severe weather outbreaks in your region, sunny and dry? Or you get to choose if the ball lands in this one little spot, right? What would you choose? But the wheel is spinning. All right, I put in a you get to choose slot, so I know what I would choose. Snowy, snowy, and more snowy. All right, and exciting weather. So where will the ball drop? The weather roulette wheel is spinning. Let me take a look at the drought as of the beginning of this year's LRC, October 7th, 2025. If you look closely, Kansas, eastern Colorado, most of Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, the Dakotas, Wisconsin, no drought conditions, or a D1 drought in parts of western Nebraska, just little bits of drought. But from the Kansas-Missouri border east to Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan area, this whole area has been a slightly growing drought. Remember, droughts either grow or they shrink. In the next few weeks, we're going to watch and see what happens to this region. But very different than last year, the Corn Belt's starting with not much of a drought condition from the drought monitor, as you can see here. Out west, that's a different story. The Pacific Northwest, they're forecast to get a lot of rain the next couple weeks, so we'll see how that goes. So we'll monitor the drought. Topping our weather news today is Tropical Storm Jerry has formed out here over the Atlantic Ocean. It's likely going to become a hurricane and curve out to sea like they all have done this season pretty much. The big ones. Major Hurricane Priscilla is becoming a Category 3 right now. Is going to send moisture into the southwestern United States. More on that in a second. You can see the stream right now across Kansas City right now, but Kansas City again got missed from much of the rain. You can see here. Track forecasts of these two tropical systems. You can see this is Priscilla becoming a major hurricane, and then that moisture heading into Arizona and New Mexico into the Four Corners region. And then Jerry forecast to form into a hurricane just northeast of the islands and curve out. There's Bermuda, so Bermuda just got hit by Imelda. We'll see how this one tracks and heads in that direction in the next few days, but way off the east coast of the United States. This is the flow. The weather pattern is setting up now. We're looking at the river of air above us within the troposphere. If you know anything about the atmospheric layers, we have the surface, then you have the troposphere where 99% of weather happens. All weather happens within the troposphere. That's from the sea level all the way up to about 30, 40, 50,000 feet. Above that is the stratosphere. All right? So we're looking at the flow here in the troposphere, the big storm off west of the Aleutians in Alaska, a ridge in the Gulf of Alaska forecast to develop by Friday of this week. And then you can see there's a kicker. This storm right here is going to drop in and kick this upper level storm out of the west coast, but that's going to bring some rain to the Pacific Northwest and lots of it. So that's an interesting sign at the beginning of the LRC. And then we have a big ridge, and there is Priscilla and Hurricane Jerry way out over here. By next Monday, just a few days later, that northern jet stream, if you look at this, the jet stream is really up here in Canada. all this flow up here in Canada. It could be, it's a lot to look at here, believe me. And then you go to the next day. Watch what happens to all this energy. It drops into this trough. So no longer do we have the main jet stream up here. We have the main jet stream in the United States by early next week. And there's a big trough. And that moisture from Priscilla is going to be drawn in to the southwest. We'll see what it does and how it sets up. There's Hurricane Jerry out in the Atlantic about to get absorbed by all these systems. Look how small a hurricane is. This is a hurricane that my peers, meteorologists, think that they actually influence the weather pattern. They do not. These hurricanes get flicked out like little pieces of nothing. Okay, they literally get picked out and flung out and kill them. These bigger features are much bigger than a little hurricane. Just know that. Oh yeah, hurricanes cause all the billions of dollars of damage, but they are small in comparison to these big, huge jet stream features. The outlook for rainfall from the American model over the next 10 days or so, it should say October 15th or 20th in here. So those dates are wrong. I'll get that fixed go look at the report. But 1 to 3 inches the next 10, 12, 15 days. Dry in Colorado. Here comes all that moisture from Priscilla. All right, down to the southwest. The Euro AI, all that moisture from Priscilla. And then Kansas and Missouri. Oh, I hope this is right. 1 to 3 inches. But there's a forecast. And look at the Pacific Northwest and all the rain out there. The LRC model snow forecast. A lot of you do have this. I highly recommend you getting this for the year ahead. You can have it for a low cost. I'll show you how to get that in a second. But there's the LRC model snow forecast for Alaska. The Aleutians, the Inside Passage, lots of snow and rain in this area. Some of that might be rain. These totals might be a little high. For the United States, you can see in the mountains quite a bit. The Wasatch Range, and then in Spokane as well, and then in Colorado and Utah, you can see some of these 200-inch, 300-inch totals in the mountains. Most of the United States will get some snow. It even has a little bit in Texas, but Florida, Southern California, San Francisco, unlikely to see any snow this winter, as usually is the case. In the plains, here's the snowfall forecast. Remember, this is the snow forecast updated before the new LRC is fully set up, now through March 31st. But this is available for you to look at if you do have the dashboard. And we'll be updating these as we get a little bit closer. About 3 weeks from now is when we're going to update these. If you are interested, there it is. Contact Bryce at weather2020.com, and he'll get you all set up, and we'll teach you how to use it. It's a pretty cool tool. I love it. All right, so there's your forecast. As you can see there, I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak with Weather 2020. Let me know if there's any questions. The weather pattern is just setting up right now. So let's see where we are next week, the week after. I always call it October 15th magic. We'll talk about that next week and see what the pattern really is evolving into. I hope the ball lands in the right spot for you where you live. Have a great day, everybody.